play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle.
Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Take it in at the 3. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll get that one complete to Connor. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, this defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Mays. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The Seahawks at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8 CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Has some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down Seahawks. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. 3rd and 7 now. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Myers' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal here.
What a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
Now a play fake. Lance.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle.
It got his man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 16-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready.
From the 16, Lance. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Niners have taken the lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, Mays. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
In his own end zone, it's Lance.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. This is McCaffrey on the give. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit him with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give him some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And oh no, they spike it here. That was 4th down. So they spike it on 4th down and they will lose the football. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Lance looking to throw it.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Okay, ready?
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw.
This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Mays. Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Lance. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Lance finding Kittle. First down, San Francisco.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here's Lance to throw it.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
To throw, it's Lance.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
McCaffrey on the counter. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now Lance.
And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
55 rushing yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And going right back to Walker.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Mays. That's complete to John Ross. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Let's go. Ready.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Ready.
So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Mays. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Ken Walker with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way. So it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Terrell Lewis able to run him down for a loss of 18 yards, and it will be 4th down as well. Here's J.K. Scott now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. 92 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Nowhere to go that time. They maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Got it. Double 38.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I tell you, he brings the wood when he comes flying up in run support. He may be a safety, but he hits like a linebacker.
I see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing now is Lance.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. 20, 10. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Here's Walker.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Lance back to throw.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single.
Under pressure, they got him again. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
after the sack. Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So the victory here for San Francisco.
And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for San Francisco, the train just keeps.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Fish came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records. Yeah, used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound you can't call.
All the boys and girls, I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah.
Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi. Take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss. Take off the weird jewelry, I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off them fabricate streams and the microwave memes, it's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro pay, 5-day stay, take off for the meal, hella final. Take off the far flag, take off perception, take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure, take off the unsure, take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep, take off the fake woke, take off the I'm broke, I care. Take off the gossip, take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the should know, take off the Doja, take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have?
You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up for us? Get back in pocket. The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burials, cries. You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up for us? Serving up a look, dancing in a drop. Tell her to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the safe house. Venting in the safe. Can I feel up my truth? I got nothing to lose. I got problems and booze. I can swim with my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving. The family suing whatever I make. Murder is stacking. The president acting. The government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies ejecting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction. My pupils on skates. Hold up, hold up.
Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for status. When you show your show, no credit. When you show your bro for leverage.
What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? They gossip. What the fuck is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like Oprah, dog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
We spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like big bitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent, ain't sold 1 million records yet. Used to be on my checklist, big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence.